Good evening, Hermosa Beach. I would like to call to order the Monday, November 4th, 2024 meeting of the Parks, Recreation, and Community Resources Advisory Commission. I would humbly request that our good friend Tom Horton lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Tom. Can we get roll call, please?
Commissioner Maroney?
Here.
Commissioner Horowitz?
Here.
Commissioner Ellman?
Here.
Vice Chair Pizer-Maines?
Here.
Chair Lang?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start to my left. If there are any announcements for upcoming city events, Tom, do you have anything?
Vote. Tomorrow is Election Day, so I hope everybody has either already voted or has a plan to vote. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Tracy, do you have anything?
I don't know if it's an announcement, but I really wanted to thank staff and our subcommittee members, Commissioners Maroney and Ellman, for all the work that you put into our Parks Master Plan and getting us ready for the meeting last week. Thank you.
Barbara? No? Well, I would like to thank the Dodgers for a great performance. Okay, moving on to presentations.
Chair Lang, I have the upcoming city events presentation.
Oh, pardon me.
No problem. So could we queue up the slides? Okay, so to begin with the permitted special events in the month of November, we have Sandy Sauté on November 2nd, Hermosa for the Holidays on November 22nd through the 24th, and the AAU Southern Grand Prix Series on November 23rd. Next slide. As far as city-hosted special events, we are celebrating the 30-year anniversary of the Veterans Memorial in our annual Veterans Day ceremony on the East Lawn at the Community Center. It starts at 10:30 Monday, and there will be a post-event reception to follow in the Hermosa Beach Museum. Next slide. Our excursion for the month of November is on the 15th. It's the Heritage Square Museum and Grand Central Market, and there are still a few spots available last time I checked. Next slide. This next slide is all the upcoming productions in our community theater and our second story theater. And for more information and ticket details on these productions, you can go to hermosabeach.gov/theater. And that concludes the upcoming city events presentation.
Awesome, thank you very much. And then for the
And now
next
moving on
presentation,
to
yeah,
our
thank
next,
you.
yes, it's for the community Hanukkah celebration. It's the pre-event presentation. It's a long-term agreement requirement, and we have Rabbi Lipspun here.
Hi, Rabbi Lipspun from the Jewish Community Center. Apologize for the last one when I was supposed to be here back in September. It was the night before the high holidays, and I missed it. Just missed my calendar. But I'm happy to hear it now. Thank you for being flexible. So this is, I think we're going on how many years now? I think it's 12, I think it's something like that, 12 years that we've been having the Hanukkah this year. The holiday is late in December, so we're doing it the last Sunday in December. I think it's 27th, if that's the Sunday. It's the last Sunday of December, or maybe the 28th or something, 29th. Thank you. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. So it's the last Sunday of December. We're planning on doing. Probably a lot of people are going to be out of town. It's going to be a little bit, maybe a little quieter than it has been in the past because it's at that time of the year. But we're planning a to do it. We're not going to change anything up. We're going to make it, everyone loves the program, and so it's a community-wide celebration. We'll have the latkes, we'll have the donuts, we'll have the entertainment, the stage, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful event, as always. As far as footprint and setup and so on and so forth, we're looking to do something the same as we've been doing all these years. The stage at the top. We're gonna reach out once again. If you can, again, the city's always so kind to help us with the fire department, where they come and do. Has anybody ever seen the Gelt drop? You've seen the Gelt drop? It's epic. It really is. And kids absolutely love it. And I think more than the kids loving it, I think the firemen love it as well. Where they go up there and we tie the little bags of Gelt to the parachutes. And they go out with the ladder over the crowd and drop it, and just beautiful, beautiful way to end the ceremony. As far as the menorah, same menorah we're planning on putting on as we've been a couple years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. We invested in an LED menorah, so it's a little bit more lit up. We got a lot of positive feedback for that as well. I think I got everything.
Lisa, we were just talking about any extra security anybody felt they needed this year.
Brian, could you remind me if we required extra security last year and what the feedback was following the event?
Yeah, typically we reach out the month prior of the event and speak with Hermosa Beach Police Department, which advises us on any security threat. They have their avenue of resources, both federal and local agencies, where if there's any need for attention to a threat, then they'll assign either event security from the event producer or extra patrol from HBPD. We have not received any notice to date, but we'll be reviewing those event elements here very shortly with them.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember last time, I think they had a car parked behind on the other side of the walkway, closer to the water. Beforehand, I think they were walking around, they had a dog just walking around, but during the event itself, they were there, but they weren't, they were like, they made themselves, like, they say, we're here, but it was in a respectful way, yeah. It was done nicely.
Excellent.
That's it.
Any other comments or questions from commission? No?
All right.
Thank you very much for, pardon me.
Sorry.
You're good?
Lisa, do we have a draft of the invitation, or Rabbi, do we have a draft of, what the flyer is going to look like yet?
Soon I have, we kind of keep similar to the similar style, but as soon as we have a final,
Okay.
I'll share it with Lisa,
Okay.
and Brian.
Yeah, I just want to, because we're living in such sensitive times, I just want to make sure that we are keeping this, as we have in the past, just, really focused on what it is, which is a community celebration.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Anything else? No? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Looking
you.
forward to the event.
Yeah, always.
Thank you for 12 years of a fabulous event.
Yeah.
Okay. Community Resources Director report, please.
Thank you, Chair Lang, and good evening, Commissioners. I'd like to begin my report tonight with some very exciting news. We have filled our lead special events and filming coordinator position with the wonderful Madison Schrock, who's here tonight. And she is going to come up and say a few words to the commission to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Madison Schrock, so excited to be here. I am a UCLA, sorry. Can you hear me now? I'm a UCLA graduate. Got some work experience at the UCLA Athletic Department after my time there. Just finished 2.5 years as the senior event specialist at SoFi Stadium, doing full stadium events for the Chargers as well as the full stadium concerts. So really excited to bring my experience here to the city and help produce really great events with you guys. So nice to meet everyone.
Welcome to the gang. Commission, any comments or questions? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're going to have a lot of fun with us. Okay. Moving on to public comment.
This is the time for members of the public to address the commission on items on and not on the agenda, but within the commission's jurisdiction. Each speaker is limited to 2 minutes and will be taken in person only. A total of 30 minutes will be allocated for this comment period. As a reminder, another public comment period at the end of this meeting is reserved for those whose comments could not be heard during the first public comment opportunity. A reminder that if you address the commission on a discussion item, you will not be able to address the commission on the same item when it is heard at a later part of the meeting. Is there anyone in the chambers that would like to come up and speak for public comment?
Seeing that we don't have anybody in chambers and nobody online. Why do I always forget that? Okay, we'll close public comment. Moving on to commissioner comments. None? Unless you do. Pardon me, Barb.
That's okay. I have some questions for Lisa, or maybe staff, I'm not sure. My first question is, we lost a tree at Valley Park this last week. Can you give us an update on maybe what happened, what the plan is?
Yes, so we did lose a tree at Valley Park. We actually had an arborist come out today to inspect and to provide the full reasoning why the tree did fall. And from what we can tell from just a preliminary look at it is that there appeared to be a fungus that was growing on the tree that possibly was caused from a root being cut years ago for some sidewalk work. But that has to be confirmed by the arborist. That's just our preliminary assessment. And, you know, we do have a policy in the Hermosa Beach Municipal Code for when we remove a tree, we replace it with 2 more, and we try to follow that same practice for unexpected trees that have fallen. Over the past couple years, we have lost some trees. A lot of it has been tied to very heavy rain, and the plan is really to work on a larger replanting to regain have trees again and to regain that tree canopy that we had before the loss within this past couple years.
Okay. So that would be my next question, is that we have a policy, but I don't believe we've ever seen the policy. Is that, I would be really helpful to understand what it is we think we're trying to do. Like you said, it's been a while. We've lost a number of trees. We have a lot of trees to replant, and we haven't. Do we have an arborist on call, or do we have a company that we use? Does the same person
Yes.
know our trees?
Yes, so we are using an arborist right now. They had actually just came out a few months ago and did not see any growth of this fungus in that tree. It was not apparent there was an issue at all with this tree. So out of abundance of caution, we are going to be having that same arborist start with an inspection of all the larger trees at our more like high activity areas like Valley Park and South Park would be the first, and then more on the green belt and more inspections on the green belt, to just out of an abundance of caution for what just happened at Valley Park.
And the reason why I asked that, we lost another, well, I shouldn't say, we cut down another tree on Valley, I believe, near your, Ardmore and 5th or 6th. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for updates on what's happened. A lot of these trees are older. Is this just the Mother Nature taking care of her own? So that is a question I'm looking for when you update us. And then it would be nice to have an arborist come in here, and even if we could have a walk through the green belt, where are we with our trees? Some of the trees we know we don't want to have any longer. I don't want to use any names because I don't want to badmouth a tree. But I know there's some trees that we don't want to plant any longer, that they aren't what we want here at the beach in our area. They're not the types of trees that naturally grow at the beach. So if we could work on that policy, share that policy, and be able to count on it as an easy access, it'd be accessible. I went online, I couldn't find anything on the city website. Let's see, okay. The The one thing I'd like to say, I think I made a mistake on the Parks Master Plan, and I would like us to consider something. I would like us to be able to change the hours at our parks to whatever we deem to be a better closing time. But I have talked to the police and the chief, and it is very difficult to ask people to leave the park at 9:30 at night when they're making a lot of noise when the parks don't close until 10:30. So I would like us to look at that as bringing that up, a future agenda item. I'd like to talk to the council when they approve the Parks Master Plan. Is it something we can add to the Parks Master Plan at this point? So I know we're going to be redoing our signs in the parks, so it would be nice to get that done sooner than later. Thank you.
Of course. And just to answer a couple of your questions, to explain more about the trees, and we have an approved list of trees that's available on the city website, and I can certainly share that with the commission. And we have in our Hermosa Beach Municipal Code, that practice that I mentioned is solidified in there of when a tree is removed, it is to be replaced with 2 trees.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different case when it's a tree that unexpectedly fell like this. So we use that same practice following that code when we are when this type of activity happens. But there is no formal written policy outside of those 2 things, the approved tree list and the municipal code.
And then just to add on the hours, Mr. Chair, I believe the hours were in the Parks Master Plan, but that's also a function of our Muni Code as well. Those hours for the park hours, once again, within your guys' purview, but also would require a municipal code change as well.
So, but I'd still like to look at doing
Correct,
that
yes.
Yeah.
sooner than later, because we know that there are a number of issues in that plan that are maybe in some people's minds a short term and other long term, and I'm hoping that's something that we could do as soon as possible.
It would be too late to add it to the plan unless the council does not approve the plan. It's drafted and ready. It's public for them to approve it as it stands. However, the commission can certainly request this to be a future agenda item. Staff comes back to the commission with some best practice research and a recommendation, and then that would ultimately go to city council. And then through city council, we could make those municipal code updates.
Okay, well, I'm hoping someone will help me with that. Thank you.
Okay. And just to add on to this, I'm thinking that perhaps later on in the agenda, this is a time that we can take a vote and see if we want to add something of this nature onto future agenda items. Okay, thank you, because I
For
have
the
another...
park hours?
Park hours, the issue of the trees, and a plan for those, and I have another item to add to that, so...
Yeah, I can certainly,
So
what
let's
I
do
can
that.
do regarding the trees is I can get that information from Public Works and share it with the commission.
Yeah, I have seen the list of trees, but, and I'm not sure in the Parks Master Plan, I think there might have been something about updating the list. If not, there should have been, because the list is stale, I feel, and it's a total of 5 pages. 2 of the 5 pages are all different kinds of palm trees, which if we're looking at the future, we're looking at hotter environments, even though we're at the beach, and also what really would work well with our environment. I don't think that palm trees necessarily add that much, but I think that this is an item worthy of discussion, and also just the parks in our tree. I mean, there's a lot to be discussed there. And I think what Commissioner Elma was getting at is also it would be helpful to maybe do a walkthrough, something, another combined effort with Public Works, because we certainly respect all the works that they do.
Yeah, I
Thank
can
you.
certainly look into the feasibility of a walkthrough.
Yeah. Tom?
Yeah, just 2 quick things. One, I want to acknowledge that Anthony Higgins did give us a fairly lengthy public written comment on the Parks Master Plan, so thanks, Anthony. And then the procedure for future agenda items, you gave us an email over a year ago Do you prefer, or are you asking us as commissioners to send you an email to put something on the agenda, and if that's supported by 2 commissioners, you'll put it on the agenda to see if there's majority support?
Yeah, the process outlined in the email was really for the commission to reach out with the intent to raise a future agenda item at the meeting that they would hope to get support from other commissioners on, just to ensure that it is something that falls within the purview of the commission. So that initial check with staff is just to make sure that it falls within the purview. And then if I saw any reason that maybe it needed to involve another commission, I can talk that through with the team. But that's really just to give me the heads up, make sure it falls within the scope of our work here. And Commissioner Ellman did give me a heads up, and then so she can certainly raise it and see if there's support from other commissioners to bring it back for a future agenda item. So I won't just automatically add it from the email. It would still need this process publicly.
All right, well, Barbara, I will second your effort to do this.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, Chair, if we may, I don't want to go through the future agenda item topics now. We can do that
Right.
on number 12. Thank you, Chair.
Perfect, thank you. Any other comments? Nope. Okay. Now moving on to the consent calendar. So I just want everybody to note that we are missing the report for 9C and 9D. We'll review those at an upcoming meeting. So I'm looking for approval for 9A and 9B, action minutes of the regular meeting of October 1st, 2024, and then action minutes of the Joint Parks, Rec, and Community Resource Advisory and Public Works Commission study session, unless somebody wants to pull one of the items or both for discussion.
I'd like to pull 9B.
Okay? Can we get a motion for approval for 9A?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent calendar 9A only.
Second?
Voting is now open. Chair Lang, if you want to give a verbal vote.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to discussion of 9B.
Okay, so I pulled this because I thought that we might get, it might have been part of the director's report this evening, but I did have a question regarding, so the community knows, because there was a little bit of a distraction with the Dodgers game that night, but we had a joint commission meeting with Public Works to review the draft plan for the Parks Master Plan, and had a really good meeting there, and it was a lot of work for staff, so thank you for staff. I'll add to Tracy's thank you to staff and our awesome subcommittee. What I was wondering about, we had a very robust discussion, a lot of ideas that were not in the draft, and this was our first time seeing the draft. So it sounds like, and it's understandable, the process is, this is the plan, and then this is what will go to the city council. My question is, how will our feedback, because in the minutes that are attached for this meeting, there really is no indication of what was discussed, what was proposed from either of the commission members. So if suggestions like Commissioner Ellman's suggestion she made about hours, that isn't included in some sort of a supplement or anything else, or incorporated into the kind of redlined and italic and added into the report, then how is this going to be presented to the city council? Is it going to be a written report that reflects our input?
So the report is, my staff report is going to share the commissioner's feedback. That goes with the actual report to City Council at its November 12th meeting. We don't put that kind of detail in our minutes. These are action minutes, so it only shows you who attended, made comment, and the actual motion that was taken. So it's not something that you would see in the minutes itself. But the feedback's going to be captured in the staff report. And the plan is actually, thank you for bringing this up and giving me the opportunity to share. We've been putting it on our social media today. The plan is actually available for anyone to view at hermosabeach.gov/parksmasterplan, well in advance of the agenda being posted, since that wouldn't be posted till later this week for next week's meeting. So in an effort to give more time for our community to review the plan and to City Council to review the plan as well, it is live.
Okay, because that was another question. Thank you for reminding me. I went on the city's website today, as I thought, well, maybe the members of the community as well would want to look at the report. And of course, it's way too advanced or ahead of time for it to be posted, the agenda for the next week's City Council meeting to be posted and the attachments shared. But I could not find anything anywhere this afternoon when I looked that was, some sort of a button or announcement about the Parks Master Plan on the city's website. And then I went to the Parks Resources Department webpage and then Public Works, and there was nothing there either. So now there is a way for if somebody goes to our homepage, it's included in announcements.
We've always had a project page under our department's web pages.
Okay.
And so it's hermosabeach.gov/parksmasterplan. So I am going to be working with the communications team to see if we can get something on the actual homepage after elections tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great. And then the City Council meeting is on the 12th?
Yes,
Okay, so the 12th at 5 or 6?
it's at 6.
6. 12th at 6, and that will be the other opportunity for the community to review and weigh in. Thanks, Lisa.
Of course.
Any other comments on 9B? No? And I need Butterfingers, public comment. Is there any public comment on 9B, the item we just discussed regarding the joint meeting? No? Okay. Close public comment.
Chair, since it is an agenda item, do we have anyone online?
Oh, yeah, awesome.
It looks like we do have Anthony Higgins online. Give me one moment to add the minutes for him. Just to confirm, City Attorney, it's 3 minutes on this one.
Hello, thank you for opening the door. Look, I wasn't able to comment on this, excuse me, the Parks Master Plan in the joint meeting because I was indisposed. But I would like to say that I really don't think we're getting the value that we need out of these large-scale plans. I sent you a rather lengthy e-comment on that. Read it if you like. But the bottom line is the city two or 3 years ago chose a back-to-basics approach where we were going to focus on known requirements and clearing up backlogs. Now, what we got with this master plan was the very reason why residents are very concerned that we're spending too much money on these things. We got 30 pages of demographics, 30 pictures of cute kids. We got all sorts of information on every recreation program within a 10-mile radius. But if we're following a back-to-basics approach, we would be spending our money on known requirements and clearing up backlogs. Now, we didn't get a plan on out of this master plan on how to um, um, fix the bench problems or how to um, uh, how to design a skate park. We didn't get any deliverable plans. What we got was studies that require more studies before you get to an actionable item. Um, for the many reasons I cited in the report and are in my e-comment, I just think it's a waste of money. Um, uh, we need shovel-ready, deliverable projects. We need bids. We need action. We don't need a bunch of grandiose 30-year studies right now. There may be a time in the future for that, but the approach is back to basics. And for some reason, you're not following your own strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. Is there anybody else online? No. Okay, we'll close that. So now do we need a motion to approve? Okay, can I get a motion to approve 9B, please?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve the action minutes of the Joint Parks, Recreation, and Community Resources Advisory and Public Works Commission study session of October 29th, 2024.
I'll second. Voting is now open. Chair Lang?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Moving on to public hearings.
All right, good evening, Chairperson Lang, members of the Parks and Recreation and Community Resources Advisory Commission. Next slide, please, Caitlin. Brian Sousa, Senior Recreation Supervisor, on behalf of staff, recommends the Parks, Recreation, and Community Resources Advisory Commission hold a public hearing to recommend for approval by City Council the inclusion of the following new special events on the 2025 special events calendar. Winter Challenge on Friday, February 7th through Saturday, February 8th of 2025 on the volleyball courts north of Pier, and Maya and the Wave on Thursday, May 22nd, 2025 at the Community Theater and Courtyard. Next slide, please. Staff began accepting applications from all event producers interested in applying for 2025 special events, regardless of the event's impact level, on May 30th of 2024. Event producers with new impact level 2 special event requests are required to submit a special event application by August 31st or at least 90 days in advance of the event. The new impact level 2 event request dates are included on the 2025 special events calendar. Next slide, please. Staff received a total of 5 new Impact Level 2 special event applications for 2025. For informational purposes, the following 2 special event applications were not advanced to the Commission review today, as the applicants did not meet the minimum requirements or had withdrawn their applications. Day of the Beach Events Old School Beach Volleyball Tournament, proposed on Saturday, June 14th through June 15th of 2025. And Sound of Healing Live on South of the Pier. No event date was provided in that application. Additionally, a third application, the IBVL tournament series taking place on various dates throughout the 2025 calendar, is still pending administrative review with more information to come at a future meeting. The following 2 special event applications are presented tonight for the Commission's review and for City Council approval. First, Hope Chapel requests approval to hold the Winter Challenge on the volleyball courts north of Pier on Saturday, February 8th of 2025, with load-in Friday, February 7th of 2025. The event would include an adult beach volleyball tournament and anticipates 72 participants and 200 spectators. The Winter Challenge was held in previous years in Manhattan Beach, and the event producer would like to host the tournament in Hermosa Beach beginning in 2025. Due to the Hope Chapel's facility residing in Hermosa Beach and a large number of their participants who also attend the church. The event would charge a participant fee of $50 per participant. The event would include food for the participants and referees, sponsor giveaways, pop-up tents, and amplified sound, but it would be restricted to announcements and background music only. The volleyball tournament would not impede on the beach tennis court areas or require any temporary beach tennis courts. Staff were informed from the event producer that they may apply for additional event dates in future years if approved in Hermosa Beach to host a tournament more than once a year, but shared that the future event date requests would fall in the off-season and not within the peak season limits, which are Memorial Day to Labor Day. Additional event details are included in the Winter Challenge overview, which is attachment 3 of your staff report. And next, the second event is the South Bay Board Riders Club requests approval to hold a film screening of Maya and the Wave at the Community Theater with a pre-event reception within the courtyard of the Community Center on Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. The pre-event reception would include live music, food and beverages, and pop-up tents. The film screening of Maya and Wave, which is a documentary following a big wave surfer's experiences, would follow in the community theater. The event producer anticipates around 300 participants and would be free for all attendees. The use of the courtyard is the event element that requires a special event permit to activate the public space. Additional event details are included in the Maya and the Wave overview, which is attachment 4. Next slide, please. If approved, staff would present the Commission's recommendations on the new 2025 special events to City Council at its November 12, 2024 meeting for review and formal action. Staff are available tonight to answer any the Commission may have. To note, an event representative was recommended to be in attendance today to also answer any questions you may have regarding the events proposed. This ends my verbal report. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Anybody have questions of Brian? Go for it, Tom.
I missed the second event that you said approached you about doing an event south of the pier, but didn't give you a date. What is that?
That was an event called Sound of Healing Live.
Sound of what?
Sound of Healing Live. It was a meditation event activation on the beach, which the event producer later withdrew their application when they saw the event fees that were associated.
All right, and are we still talking to the Kings about an event next fall?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Would it be possible for us to take each of these separately?
Yeah, totally agree. Which one would you like to start with?
Maybe the screening one, that's a free event, and I think there may be less questions about it.
Okay.
Right, and Chair, if I may, there may be some benefit to taking public comment, because there is one item, and then, of course, when it gets to the commission, you guys, of course, can, facilitate your motions however you want.
Perfect. So right now, we'll open it up to public comment, and this is when we can invite the event producers to speak. So we'll open it up to public comment, and then obviously invite the event producers to address commission.
Good evening, Commission. Chairperson, my name is Joey Izzity. I work at Hope Chapel in Hermosa Beach. I've been before you guys many times. I've worked there for the last 10 years. This is Heather Friesen. She is a longtime congregant of ours who's been throwing a beach volleyball tournament in Manhattan for several years. Hope would like to sponsor the event.
Can you speak into the microphone so the folks at home can hear you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you. Okay.
Maybe that second, yeah, the smaller one, maybe a little bit more effective.
This one?
Or the lower one, pardon me?
Yeah, you can take it out.
That better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry, guys. My name is Joey Izzity, Hope Chapel. Last 10 years, been before you guys many times. This is Heather Friesen. She's been throwing this volleyball tournament in Manhattan for the last few years. Hope has decided we wanted to help her out. We wanted to sponsor it monetarily, but also logistically with things like security, beach cleanup, setup, things like that, transport. But she knows most about the event and has the event details, so I'm going to pass it off to her for those things.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for this event. We've done it 4 years in Manhattan Beach, so this will be our 5th year. And as Joey said, Hope Chapel is helping immensely with the event, and since they're in Hermosa Beach, we were wanting to switch to Hermosa instead of Manhattan. It's also kind of ideal for beach volleyball players because a lot of us live in Hermosa. So this is there's beach volleyball happening here all the time. People practice here every day, every morning. So was really excited about the potential of getting it here in Hermosa. And I'm open to any questions you guys have about the event.
Thank you.
Were you hosting it in Manhattan Beach just on your own, and now you're affiliating yourself, the tournament, with Hope Chapel?
So it started, I used to work for an organization called Fellowship of Christian Athletes, FCA. And when I was working with them, we decided to start this event. That was, our first year was 2020. And so that's how it started with them. And we were just kind of looking for a place, the best place on the beach that we could find that was easiest for us at the time for having a first event. And we went through Department of Beaches and Harbors for that first year. And since we already established a relationship with them, we decided to have it there the next couple years as well. That's why we picked Manhattan. And then after that, I wasn't working for FCA anymore. And as Joey said, I've been going to Hope Chapel for a number of years now. And they decided that they wanted to help run the tournament. So now that's the backing that we have. They helped for the first time last year, I believe. So they helped with sponsoring and putting everything on.
And the participants are adults. Is it open to anybody, or do you need to be a Hope Chapel congregant?
It's a professional level tournament, so It's typically players that are playing on the AVP or qualifiers for the AVP, so that type of level.
Wasn't asking for me, but everybody else.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's it for now.
Thank you. Any other questions?
So the event in Manhattan Beach, does this pretty much mirror what you've been doing there in terms of size? And did you have sponsors there and a similar setup?
Yeah, good question. In terms of size, we're hoping it'll be a little bigger as far as participants this year. I think last year we had 8 courts total, and this year we're hoping to have 12. Hoping to just get a little bit bigger each year. And sorry, what was your second question other than size?
Yeah.
Is everything significant?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sponsors and stuff too. Yeah, so basically the same as what we were doing in Manhattan. We'll have, working on getting some more sponsors now to help out with cutting the costs of everything that we have to provide. So we'll have some sponsor tents up, and then I'm trying to think of what else. Anything else we talked about? Yeah, so similar to what's been happening in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Tom, did you have any questions? No.
My question is there a purse going with this? You have the application fee and all that, but is there a prize for coming in first?
Yes. The total prize money will depend on how many total teams we have, because all of the entry fee money goes straight back to the players.
Okay.
So we don't use any of that for putting on the event. So I'm not sure exactly what that will be yet. It'll just depend on how many participants we get, which we won't know until closer to the date. And then the hope is also to get sponsors that would be able to contribute to the winnings, but that also depends on how many sponsors we would get. And then in addition to that, some sponsors or just companies in the past have done giveaways, so like gift cards or something for third place or whatever. So we've had that as prizes instead of just monetary as well.
Great, thank you.
All good? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Tom Horton with the South Bay Board Riders Club. So I'm going to talk about Maya and the Wave. And Maya and the Wave, that event on May 22nd, it's really going to be kind of like a pre-party for an event we call Queen of the South Bay that's taking place May 31st at El Porto. And that will be our second annual event. And that event was designed really to bring girls and women together down at the beach. We've been trying to do something to encourage more participation in our surf contests and getting more girls and women down to the surf contests. And for about the last 3 or 4 years, we really didn't have much of a turnout in prior years just because of probably the event design. And this year on June 1st, we had our first Queen of the South Bay. And we thought we'd get maybe 20, 30 females. We had 180 show up. And it was all ages from 7 years old up to 70 years old, full participation. The vibe was incredible. So we're going to have the second event happening this year, May 31st. Maya and the Wave is a film about Maya Gabriera. She's a Brazilian surfer. She was the first big wave surfer. And the movie's about her trial and tribulation she went through. One, in entering a male-dominated sport and all the criticism she got from some of the big wave male surfers. She almost died. She drowned and was resuscitated in Nazaré, Portugal. And the thing she went through is really incredible. The movie's very, very inspiring. And so we wanted to have an event prior to the Queen of the South Bay that's happening on the first. It's going to be like a party and a social event, basically. The courtyard is simply going to be space for girls and women to get together and talk and meet some new people and socialize and fun before going into the movie. And that's it.
Thank you, Tom. Does anybody have questions?
Excellent idea. Tom, how do you guys plan on promoting this to try and get more people at the event, especially, I wouldn't want to say especially girls, but reaching out to the girls in the South Bay, different clubs? I'm kind of curious.
Good old social media, primarily. And then we also, Dickie O'Reilly from Spider, he runs the high school surfing association. So we'll be reaching out to the coaches there, as well as the Hermosa Beach, Hermosa Valley surf class or surf team that Yanni runs, and also MBNS too. And just word of mouth. It was unbelievable last year. It was mothers and daughters surfing at these contests. And so they've been asking for an event. Can we do this more often is what we hear from them. So it'll be primarily through social media and our email blasts that we send out too.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments from Commission? Yeah, and for everybody listening, the Queen of the South Bay was a spectacular event. It exceeded all expectations, set attendance records, and never seen so many stoked participants of all ages. And Tom, I think this is a wonderful idea to, bring a social element building up to the anticipation of this returning event. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment pertaining to 10A? Do we have anything online?
No hands raised at this time.
No? Okay, cool. We'll close public comment, bring it back to the dais for discussion. Lauren, I know you wanted to take it one by one.
I did. May I go ahead and make a motion for Maya and the Wave?
Please.
Okay. I will make a motion that Parks, Recreation, and Community Resources Advisory Commission recommends for approval by City Council the inclusion of Maya and the Wave at the Community Theater and Courtyard on Thursday, May 22nd, 2025.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Just to note, I do sit on the board of directors for the South Bay Board Riders Club. If that's a conflict of interest, I'll recuse my vote. Otherwise, just want to make
It is not. There's no
public comment.
financial interest, but thank you for the
Thank you.
disclosure.
Voting is now open. Chair Lang,
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the discussion of the Winter Challenge.
I guess, did anyone else have any input on it? I'm struggling with this one a little bit, in that we have so many volleyball events in the community, and I'm wrestling with what the community benefit is here. I feel that we have so many events going on throughout the year, and our Parks Master Plan did pretty much point to the public thinking that we got it right in terms of the amount of public events that we have on our beaches and in our community. This is a little bit different than the one that we just approved, and I'm hesitant on a number of levels to support a recommendation on this. What also concerns me is that, I don't want us to get in the way of what is planned with this event, because they'd like to add additional event days, and I know we have such a packed event calendar as it is for volleyball events in this space on the beach. And they're also looking at adding on, as part of the plan, a summer challenge. So that all concerns me as we weigh our master plan and everything else. How many more volleyball events? What is the distinct benefit here? So I wanted to share that as as some of the concerns I had about this event and not being met in other, I think these needs are being met by some of the other groups, volleyball organizations in the community.
Thank you. Tom, any thoughts on it?
You would think I would be one to jump in on that.
What's that?
You'd think I'd be one to jump in on that, but it's February. I don't see a problem with having a volleyball tournament in February. I do have a follow-up question for staff. This isn't going to interfere with Redondo, right? Are they Tuesdays and Thursdays?
That is correct. They're usually Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Okay. So yes, I don't have any problem with approving this event in February. If they come back and they want events to get closer to our peak season, that will be more problematic.
And Tracy, any thoughts?
I wholeheartedly agree with Commissioner Maroney that it's a February event that doesn't really seem to be impacted by our, really impacted calendar. And right now, that's the only date that they're asking for. If they want to come back for a summer event, then we evaluate it and see how it would fit. If not, but I feel like we look at this for what it is for the February date.
Barbara?
I'll totally agree with Tracy and Tom that we're voting on February, not this summer, or a summer date.
I will completely agree with my other three commissioners who are in support of this February date. Particularly, this is an established event. It's not a new event. It does have a track record, so we do have reference to the quality of execution, and I gladly welcome them to our volleyball Hermosa Beach family. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to recommend approval to City Council, I have to find the wording, the Winter Challenge on February 8th. 7th and 8th, sorry.
I'll second.
Voting is now open. Chair Lang?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
And then Chair Lang, if I could just say one last thing before we move on.
Absolutely.
As I'm passing the special event torch to my two wonderful new colleagues, I just wanted to say it was a pleasure working with you all on special events, and for the tutelage from Director Nichols as well.
Thank you for everything, Brian. We appreciate it. And the community appreciates it as well. So thank you. Cool. Moving on to matters for commission consideration.
Okay, so I'm sorry, did we open it up, matters for commission consideration?
Yes, we did.
All right, so this item is approval of the 2025 meeting schedule for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Resources Advisory Commission. All the meeting dates proposed in the staff report are for the first Tuesday, which is when we typically meet of each month. The only different date is for the month of November, where we're proposing Monday, November 3rd, because of Election Day on November 4th.
Any commission questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuesday, March 5th, 2025 is actually Tuesday, March 4th.
Thank you.
No problem.
We will get that corrected.
Good catch. Anything else, commissioners?
Does it conflict with spring break? I never know when that is.
I do not have visibility that far in advance right now. Let's see.
I know we usually try to avoid our
Yeah,
local spring
April
break.
1st. Yeah, I don't have that visibility. It does land on April Fool's Day. You noticed that?
I did, and I'm planning already.
Should be a hilarious meeting. Okay. No more comments or thoughts? No conflict of other holidays or celebrations that we have identified? No? Okay, we'll open it up to public comment. Seeing nobody's in the room, move on to online public comment.
Not seeing any
No.
hands raised.
Okay, we'll close public comment and look for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the, what are we calling? I don't read this very well. Yeah, the 2025 Parks, Recreation, and Community Resources meeting schedule.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Voting is now open.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 12, future agenda items. Any requests? No? Okay.
Well, we said we were,
Do we need to revisit the conversation we had earlier, or?
Yeah, Barbara, did you want to add that?
About the modifying the park hours?
yes. So,
So you've raised that as a future agenda item?
correct.
Do we have a second?
Anyone else interested?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tom second.
And so I just want to be, and once again, we're probably getting a bit too formal for such an informal commission. So, but typically, at least at the city council level, it's 2 for a information item, 3 for an action item. Now, once again, it's obviously up to Madam Director's discretion as well. But so if there's a third, that may give
I say
you-
we go big.
Okay.
Come on, third.
Be
I'll
your
support
third
it.
Got it.
There we go.
out of 4.
Okay.
And can I ask a clarifying question? Parks and the beach downtown, I think our hours are mirrored. So are we only looking into modifying the park? We'll only have staff come back with recommendations for
I
parks?
wasn't looking at,
Okay.
at the beach.
I just wanted to make sure.
I'm just looking at the
Parks.
Hermosa Beach parks.
Got it.
Okay. So now we have 3. We're good, we can move on? Okay. We'll jump past public comment and then we'll move to adjournment. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll close the meeting. Good night.